There are people in your life that are not necessarily negative, but people that you have to cut off. And this is one of the hardest things to do. They're not bad people, but they're not good for you. And in today's episode, I'm going to explain a little bit more how you should let go of people that aren't compatible with you and how you should focus on compatibility in the longevity of your life. I want to start off by telling you a story. When I was younger and I was a promoter at a nightclub, there was a lot of clientele that we would have come to the nightclub. And these people were successful. They would spend thousands of dollars on bottles every single weekend, every single week, actually. And these people were fun people. They were successful. They made money. They had a lot of women around them. And they partied, and that was a good thing for me because I was working in that nightclub. I was a bar back. I was a nightclub promoter. I mean, everybody in the bar scene was really a promoter by default. So it was really good for me to hang around with these people because not only would I build a strong relationship with the clientele that we had, but we also got tipped out from them. You know, it was just a lifestyle. And when I went into financial services and my insurance business, which is much different from working at the nightclub, I had to really evaluate the people that I surrounded myself with because my job wasn't staying up at night. It was waking up early. It was making calls. It was being more conservative. I couldn't be drunk or be doing this or that all the time. And having a lot of girls that would come in and out of my place wasn't necessarily conducive to having a good line of business. It was more so just working, dialing, quiet environments. That's what I needed to do. And so it was very difficult for me to have that conversation with myself for these people. And I wanted to have these people in my life, and I loved a lot of the clientele that we had, but they just weren't on the same path as me. And so one thing I want you to understand is that even though people are not bad people, these were all very nice people, they just weren't going to help me grow. And then we get into the mindset of all relationships are transactional, or they seem like they should be transactional by what I'm saying, but the reality is everybody has value. Everybody has value. You just have to make sure that that value lines up with what you're doing in your life. So for some people, fitness is their major thing in life. That's their only thing they want to do. And maybe that's not the main goal of your life, hypothetically here. I'm not saying that you shouldn't not focus on fitness, but maybe it's like bodybuilding. It's an extreme version of that. Maybe you want to be in shape, but you don't really care to that extreme. And so for the bodybuilder respectively, and for you guys are probably not great to hang out with one another. And this is where it gets very, very complicated. People always talk about the diversity of who they hang out with. At the lowest levels of life, at the medium levels of life, being very respectful here, you should hang around with people that are on the same mission and same path as you. Once you're established and you've really decked out your life, then you can afford to do whatever you want. You can afford to hang out with the painter if you're a CEO of the bank, because it doesn't matter. You guys are so established and you're so established in what you do. But when you are building your business, just like I am right now, like in the stage that I'm in, I'm not fully vetted out, accomplished, where I'm taking time off work and I'm retired. I need to surround myself with people that are very functional for me, that are very good for me, that are going to allow me to grow. So I have to make sure that the value that people are bringing around me, the value that people are bringing to me, and the value that people have is conducive with the journey that I'm going on, and the value that I'm bringing is also good for them, respectfully. So if I'm meeting someone that makes a lot of money from nightclub promoting, which I do know a lot of people that make a lot of money from doing this, they can be cool for me to see here and there, but not necessarily to hang out with on a day-to-day basis. Like there's some friends that I have that I just can't hang out with all the time. They live different lifestyles. They wake up 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and they go out and they eat food and they drink and they party with girls and they run different businesses than me. Then it's just very different. And there's certain people that just genuinely mean well. Like, these people aren't bad people. It's just that it's not my lifestyle. And so sometimes in life, you have to ask yourself the question, like, are these people genuinely aligned with the goal and the lifestyle and the level of success that I want? Nobody's ever going to have your exact version of success in their mind as well. But you have to find people that genuinely align with the goals that you have. And so many people in my company have the same vision as me. They have the same ideals as me. They have the same philosophy as me. And they're genuinely focused on the same things that I'm focused on. Even for me, having a personal assistant that is not vaping, that is not smoking, that is not drinking is a very important thing. And you might say, why does that matter, Sumi? That's going into her body. That has nothing to do with you. I don't want to be tempted. I don't want to be influenced. I don't want to be drawn into a certain behavior or mindset, or I don't want to normalize certain things that are not necessarily good for me in the nature of work that I do. So everyone around me in my life lives a very disciplined life as much as they can. Obviously, they do things in their own personal time, and they may not have the level of discipline that I do. But at the same time, I don't want people that have unconducive habits or unconducive mindsets that are not aligned with my goal. It's not that they're just genuinely negative. It's just that they don't line up with me. Now, if you have someone that's negative, obviously, it's just time to cut them off. But when you deal with these people that are good people and they're just not the same type of person that you are or that you're trying to be, it's good to get distance. And those clientele at those nightclubs that are really, really good people, I still keep in touch with them. They're still good people. there's still wonderful people all around. And I'm at a stage where I can now afford to hang out with them bi-weekly or a month-to-month basis, where it's not so bad for me and it doesn't drain me. And yes, their lifestyle is very different from me, but at the same time, I do value the relationship and I value the tenure that we had together. And ultimately, it doesn't take away from me. So I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity on cutting people away or maybe distancing yourself from people that are not conducive to you. Guys, if you haven't hit that bell notification, definitely hit that to subscribe to our YouTube. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time here with me. Check out our podcast, leave a review, and if you ever want to work with me one-on-one, the link is down in the description below. Till next time, guys, Sumi out.